Scrappy Peeps, I am back with another process video, and this is a layout that I made for the Felicity Jane blog. I was their guest designer in the month of February. Okay, so I'm going to start this layout thinking that I'm going to do a little bit of a watercolor background, so there I am testing out some watercolors, and I'm just using an inexpensive watercolor pen by Artist Loft, and I thought I would do some watercolor coming out from the right side of the layout as well as from the left side of the layout, and what ends up happening is a hot mess. I don't like it. So I'm going to continue on because, I just keep on moving thinking, okay, I can work this out. So I'm going to add some strips of pattern paper to the top and the bottom of the layout. And I'm going to go as far as to stitch at the top of the layout as well on top of those strips. Now, of course, everything here in the Felicity Jane kit is exclusive to the kit. So I'm going to grab some of this beautiful pattern paper. I've got some black and white floral as well as polka dot that's in a mint green color, and then a nice subtle pink and white stripe pattern paper. I'm going to add these layers behind that photo of me and Corinne. Now, on the day that this photo was taken, we visited the Kimball Art Museum in downtown Fort Worth, so if you're in the area, that's a great museum to go check out. The museum is free, although there are some exhibitions that are not, but there's lots of cool things, fun activities for family and kids. So we went and hung out at the Kimball for at least 3 hours. We were there for a while. All right, so I'm taking this cluster of pattern paper, and I also added a tag, which is a part of the 12 by 12 cut apart sheet that you get with the Felicity Jane kit. And I'm going to add some adhesive to the photo and lay my photos down on those pieces of paper. And of course, I attached all those using my tiny attacher. I'm going to punch a hole in the tag, and I'm thinking I'm going to add some twine to that, but then I am going to veto that decision because I don't like it. Now at this point, I'm looking at that background, I'm thinking, that looks like a hot mess. That's stupid. But I'm going to keep going with it to see if it'll work, because that's just how I roll. So I'm going to lay this down, and ultimately I'm going to decide, yeah, this is just not going to work. I don't know. Okay, let me add some more stuff. So I add another of the cut apart stickers from the sticker sheet, the heart, and then a chipboard circle with a heart in the middle, and then of course I decide I don't like it. So I grab another sheet of 8.5 by 11 white textured paper. I'm going to add another one of the strips, or actually 2 strips from the top and the bottom. And I'm sorry that you can't see the bottom of the layout. I did not notice that my layout was slightly out of frame, but you'll be able to see the entire layout here in just a few minutes. So just bear with me. I hate when I do that, when you can't see the full layout, so I apologize. So now I'm going to move some elements around. I have this frame, this black and white stripe frame, which is lovely. And I think I'm going to put that there to the left. I do. I'm going to commit to that. I'm also going to put this word happy towards the bottom, and that's where the title is going to rest, and the title is going to read Happy Times. And there are going to be some other photos that I add to this layout as a pocket scrapbook layout, so that the full story can be told of our day at the museum. We go to the museum quite frequently. That's just one of the things we love to do, and the Kimball is one of Corinne's favorite as well as mine. So, alrighty, so let's see. I went ahead and added some foam dots to the bottom of the word happy so that could stand up a bit. And then I'm going to add this acrylic, no, it's not acrylic. It's an enamel heart, exclusive to the kit. Nice big chunky heart, and I like that. I'm going to layer this chipboard piece that says amazing. There we go. Gonna layer that on. Again, all exclusive to the Felicity Jane kit, and this was the February kit, by the way. I cannot talk. I've been editing and narrating all day, so I'm running out of steam. Okay, so I want to pop that up on Pop Dots as well. I've been using a lot of foam squares lately. I need to order some. My favorite all-time foam squares are from Stampin' Up! And I used to have a lady that I would buy from, but she no longer sells it, so I need to find me another Stampin' Up! Lady. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add a few more chipboard pieces. This is a little yellow triangle, and I'm going to add 2 at the bottom. Well, actually, I'm only adding 1 at the bottom. I'll add 1 at the top here in a second. All right, so I went to my sewing machine. I stitched up. I have a brand new sewing machine. I'm so excited. Her name is Betsy, and I love her. She works out so well. Now I want to add some of the exclusive font stickers that came with the kit. Love these font stickers. I'm going to spell out the word times. So the title reads Happy Times, because we're truly happy when we are in our element, doing artsy and cultural things. That's just kind of how we roll here in the Calvin family. All right, so things are looking pretty darn good. I'm going to add this little label that says smile. Of course, I added that little gingham heart from the cut apart sheet and then the triangle. I'm going to switch some things around here in just a second to make that little cluster work. Now, the only thing that I don't particularly care about the stickers is that if you add something onto them, like this little label, you decide to pull it up, it does pull the ink off the sticker. But that's okay. I keep on rolling with it. No big deal. All right, so at the bottom, no. I was going to say at the bottom, but never mind. I add another enamel heart there to the right-hand side because I felt that that space needed something. Sometimes the white space is awkward and I just kind of roll with it. Then I'm going to add a piece of this washi tape by Little Bee, and that is the only thing not exclusive to the kit, but it was included in the kit this month. Then I have a label at the bottom and add the date that we went to the museum, and of course you can see that strip and the stitching and such. I'm going to add a little triangle just to draw attention to the date and to add a bit of repetition there from the triangles that are there at the top. I typed up my journaling, which is my favorite thing to do right now, to type up my journaling in strips, and added that using my Xyron sticker maker, and that just makes it a lot easier to add those strips onto my layout. Sometimes I will type directly on my layout, and then sometimes I just really like the look of these strips, particularly on textured pattern, or on textured cardstock, because sometimes it's hard to handwrite on textured cardstock. Now I'm going to rough up the edges of the strips just to give a little bit more texture and interest. And there we go, the finished layout of me and my girlie hanging out at the Kimball Art Museum in downtown Fort Worth. All right, make sure you check out the Felicity Jane blog and also check out the Victoria Marie blog for more information about this layout. And as always, check out Felicity Jane for all their wonderful kits that they offer. Thank you so much to the folks at Felicity Jane for having me as a guest designer. It was absolutely fun, and I will see you guys next time.